Cranial nerve number 1 is olfactory. It goes through the cribriform plate, and its pathway is the olfactory epithelium to the olfactory bulbs. Its sensory function is smell. Number 2 is the optic nerve. It goes through the optic canal, then it goes retina to the thalamus to the occipital lobe, and its sensory function is vision. This is the oculomotor, number 3. It goes through the superior orbital fissure. Its pathway is from the ventral midbrain to most eye muscles, the iris, and the ciliary body, and its motor function is eye movement, pupil constriction, and focusing the lens. This is the trochlear, number 4. It goes through the superior orbital fissure, and its pathway is the dorsal midbrain to the superior oblique muscles of the eye. Its motor function is infralateral eye movement. The trigeminal is 5. It has 3 branches. The first is the ophthalmic, which goes through the superior orbital fissure. Its pathway is the upper eyelid and face to the pons, and its sensory function is the forehead skin, upper eyelid, nose, and cornea. The second branch is the maxillary, which goes through the foramen rotundum. Its pathway is the mid-face to the pons. Its sensory function is the lower eyelid, upper teeth and lip, the nasal cavity, and the cheek skin. The third branch is the mandibular. It goes through the foramen ovale. Its path is the lower face to the pons and vice versa, and the pons to the muscles of mastication. Its sensory function is the tongue, lower teeth and lip, and the skin of chin. Its motor function is the muscles of mastication. Abducens, number 6. It goes through the superior orbital fissure. Its pathway is the pons to the lateral rectus, and its motor function is lateral eye movement. This is the facial, number 7. It goes through the internal acoustic meatus. Its pathway is the pons to the facial muscles, anterior tongue, sublingual and submandibular glands, and vice versa. Its sensory function is taste, and its motor function is facial expression and salivation. This is vestibulocochlear, number 8. It goes through the internal acoustic meatus. Its pathway is the inner ear to the pons and medulla, and its sensory function is balance, equilibrium, and hearing. This is the glossopharyngeal, number 9. It goes to the jugular foramen. Its pathway is the posterior tongue, the carotid artery, the aortic arch, the parotid gland, and the pharynx, to and from the medulla. Its sensory function is taste, blood pressure, O2 and CO2, and its motor function is swallowing and salivation. This is vagus, number 10. It goes through the jugular foramen, and its pathway is the carotid artery, the aortic arch, the pharynx, and the viscera to and from the medulla. Its sensory function is blood pressure, O2, CO2, viscera, the pharynx, and the larynx. Its motor function is swallowing, speech, heart rate, respiration, and digestion. This is accessory, number 11. It goes through the jugular foramen. Its pathway is the medulla and spinal cord to the neck and back muscles, and its motor function is the neck and back muscles. This is hypoglossal, number 12. It goes through the hypoglossal canal. Its pathway is the medulla to the tongue muscles, and its motor function is food manipulation, swallowing, and speech. So the olfactory would be here. This is the cribriform plate. Then you have your optic,
Hey Chris, I have a question.
which is 2, and then the oculomotor, which is 3, and then this line is the trochlear, which is 4, and then this is the trigeminal, 5. You have the ophthalmic, then the maxillary in the middle, and then the mandibular. This is the abducens right there, and then here on top is the facial, number 7, and then the vestibulocochlear underneath is 8, and then this bundle 3 coming out of the jugular foramen. The first one is the glossopharyngeal, 9, in the middle is the vagus, 10, and then the accessory, 11, and then down there is the hypoglossal, 12.